Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back, putting a positive spin on I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. With this being 4th of July weekend, Jason and I thought it was appropriate to talk about this one. Just like the first two that came before it, I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer takes place on the 4th of July. It's another Independence Day slasher that is woefully neglected and even hated by many who have seen it. I guess the case those who hate it make for this one is that it's different than the first two. Although my question is it really that different? Now, as you guys know by now, the Positive Spin series is a series in which Jason from Horrific Nightmares and I talk about movies that are universally hated. These videos are not reviews, they are simply a way for us to talk about what we do like about these films. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer is probably the most ignored of the films we've discussed so far in this series. Yes, it does get a lot of hate, but again, it's mostly neglected. What I think that comes down to is, again, the differences people see with this one from the first two, mainly the cast. I think the majority of fans would probably have preferred to see the original survivors return in this movie, like Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., and even Brandy from I Still Know. Instead, I'll Always Know pulls somewhat of a Friday the 13th. Just like in most of those sequels, and most sequels in any slasher franchise, there are new characters. It's interesting to me that people hold that against this movie, but not against those other slasher franchises. This one still features the same killer from the first two films. The victims are just different. Now, because this is a positive spin video and not a review, I will jump right into my positives for this movie. With that being said, I've already reviewed this film back on the 4th of July a few years back, so I will link that video on the end screen of this one. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer was released in 2006, and it definitely has that 2000s slasher feel. If you've seen enough slashers from that decade, you know exactly what I mean. When I hear the phrase 2000 slasher, this is exactly what I think of. It's got a cast of fresh young faces. Their acting might not be up to par at all times, but they're nice to look at. Then again, there aren't too many slasher films with great acting, are there? Regardless, the performances are decent enough for what this is, part 3 in a slasher trilogy. I love that this is another Independence Day slasher film. We don't have enough of them. Of course, I'd even say that about Halloween slashers and Christmas slashers. Bring on the holiday slashers. I love them. There's just something about watching a slasher film set around the time of year you are currently experiencing. That's exactly why I watched this one for the first time and reviewed it on July 4th, a few years back. Not only does I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer have a holiday summer setting, but it also has a carnival setting, and you know I love those. This entry was set and filmed on location in Utah. That's where Halloween 4 was also filmed, by the way. You know, that popular, well-loved slasher sequel in which the survivor of the first two films did not return? Kind of like this sequel, right? Only most people hate it. Not me, though. I love I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, that's not to say it's my favorite in the trilogy, but I really enjoy this movie. With it being filmed in Utah, there is also a ski lift setting throughout the movie, and that's cool also. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer features some great kills, just like the two movies that came before it. Along with the attractive young cast, the awesome settings and locations, the return of the fishermen, and the brutal kills, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer takes the series in a new direction. A supernatural element is added to the franchise with this entry, and I think it really works. In fact, I believe by doing so, it opens up this franchise to endless possibilities. Unfortunately, we have yet to see a follow-up to I'll Always Know. Don Shanks, who played Michael Myers in Halloween 5, has a dual role in this one, but I won't say who he plays. This is just a super fun time, and it's a shame more people haven't given it a chance. Just because Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are not in this one, that doesn't mean this one isn't also a good time. Admittedly, I myself had put this one off for a long time because I had always heard bad things about it. I should have known better though. It was actually Jason a few years ago who recommended it to me. I watched it for that first time and really enjoyed it, and now rewatching it again with Jason, I liked it even more. If you're a fan of 2000s slasher films, or just slashers in general, I think you might enjoy I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Don't let the hate deter you, but this is just my positive spin. Have you seen I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. And be sure to check out Jason's positive spin. Which hated film will we discuss next in the series? Check back soon to find out. Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.